Well, hello everybody. It is Liam with Paranormal People, and currently we are getting ready to go to the Randolph County. I still have to make the trip down there. We're currently at our house right now, but we need to be there by 6, and currently it is 4 o'clock. So, well, currently it is 4 o'clock and we are still at our house, waiting to make the trip. Super excited for this one. Hopefully this is something much different than what I would have expected it would be, like our other investigations. So, toodles guys.
So in 1851, the state of Indiana had made every county in Indiana build an infirmary / asylum to house, it's kind of like a welfare system. So if you were mentally handicapped, physically handicapped, or just plain broke, you couldn't take care of yourself, something of that sort, then this was kind of like a welfare system to be able to take care of those who could not take care of themselves. And it was supposed to be a working farm where they would help take care of things, raise livestock, the crops, things like that. So that was the idea of it. Well, the first building was in 1853, I think, is when it actually got finished. And fun fact, because I found in the history book that General Stone actually helped execute the plans for this very first asylum. And so I thought that was really neat because, for one, they own both buildings, so that's pretty cool that they're connected.
Yeah.
And then it's actually even highlighted in the history book over on the podium.
Okay.
In there, if you want to look at it later.
Yeah.
So it's highlighted because I was just kind of reading through there one day and I was like, no way.
That's pretty neat.
So, yeah. So the first one was a 2-story wood structure, kind of like log cabin. And it was built on a limestone foundation. And it was from Bedford, Indiana. That's where the limestone's from.
Okay.
So, if you think about back in 1851 to 1853, what would they have been using to cook, to see, or
Oil lamps and candles and
everything fire related?
Yeah.
So the burning stoves or fireplace, candles and lamps. Yeah. So that and a wood structure, you know, that definitely can be.
Did General Stone only help with the wooden structure or this building that's here right now?
Now, I'm not sure if he helped with this one. I know that at least one, and I'm pretty sure it was the very first structure that they had put in the history book. But the history book that's here is not the full lengthy history. Some of the information has been left out. So I have not gotten my hands on one of those yet. I need to get to the Historical Society.
Okay.
But
The reason why I ask is because it's really hard to believe if he did with this building because there's no marble in that fireplace.
yes, that is true.
That was for his
exactly.
person.
This is more of a welfare
this is
type
like,
of
Yeah.
poor farm. So that could be why too. But that's a really good question. I just don't quite know. From what I've seen so far, I just know that it was one of the structures, and I do believe it was the very first one.
Okay.
So between that and having, you know, mentally handicapped, physically handicapped, elderly, poor people, drunks, sometimes those, you know, they couldn't take care of themselves, they'd end up here too. And a wood structure with fire, the recipe for disaster, and they ended up burning down the first building.
Did anybody die in that?
No. There were 19 people, so it was like 16 residents, and then 3, it was like the caretaker and their family.
Okay.
Everybody got out okay, but the building was basically a complete loss. Now, the foundation was still there, but it still had some damage to it. So now we have 19 residents, well, 16 in the caretakers without a place to live. So county commissioners come out and they're like, okay, we've got to figure something out. We need it to be fast because we've got all these people without places to live. So they decide the second building, they're not going to do it right here where they've had the first one. They build it across the way where the Circle Drive is, right there, the U or whatever. So they end up building a second building there out of brick, and they're going to save some time and money by firing the bricks on site. Anybody have a guess on how hot a brick needs to get that glazing to where it's not going to melt when it rains?
I have no idea.
Well, it's clay. So if you get clay and then you're going to like pat it together and mold it into something, if it rains, it's just going to be like kind of like grabbing dirt and it just would disintegrate.
Yeah.
So 1600 degrees.
Wow.
And back then they didn't have a way to tell whether they either didn't have them accessible or they weren't invented yet. I still got to kind of look into that myself, but I know that they did not have them at that time. So they were guessing on how hot it was. And so they're about a third of the way done building the second building, and a big rainstorm comes. Well, let's just say they were not getting those bricks hot enough. A lot of it had disintegrated, melted. County commissioners come out and they're trying to see, how much damage there is, because they've heard that, it's definitely taken out the building. They come out and they assess the situation. They're like, well, tell you what, we like how quick you're getting this up. And so we're just going to hire a couple people to come in here. They're going to take out the bad bricks that did, disintegrate, deteriorate, whatever, while you guys continue building just the way you were. We're not going to change anything. Keep going. We like it. Quick, cheap. Not our problem. So they're building it up and having somebody come in and take out the ones that had melted. I don't know how many times they had to go through that, depending on how many times it had poured and the bricks weren't being fired correctly. But they eventually got the building up.
Jeez.
And it wasn't long after they had moved in that the women's side, there's the west wing of the building, they had all the weather, the beatings of the rain and everything. And those bricks still were not being fired hot enough. And so there was documents where they have pictures of these women that were taking their bedding and stuffing it into the holes of the wall because the bricks were just, falling apart.
Right.
So to keep the weather out and to keep the windows from falling in, that's how bad it had gotten. And they're not really wanting to do anything about it yet. People are complaining.
But the building hasn't fallen over yet, so there's no reason to.
It's still got a roof, so you're good. It's okay, just keep stuffing those little blankets in there. It'll be all right. Well, finally they have enough about hearing about the building, so they're like, oh, well, we're gonna just, give you guys a distraction, basically. Throw money in the general direction of the problem and hope it goes away. So there was a newer invention that they had installed in the basement. It was indoor plumbing.
Ooh.
The working toilet.
That's big.
Yeah. Well, the toilet had like the drainage pipe, but it drained back along towards this creek called Salt Creek.
Okay.
Creek has another nickname, I'm sure you can guess. It starts with an S and ends with a T.
Right.
And I've heard there's been some floaters in there before.
Oh gosh.
No.
No.
So they don't really have anybody that knows how to fix a problem when it arises at this point. Well, a couple years after they installed the toilet, they actually ended up having it clogged. The pipe had backed up and then it ended up leaking in raw sewage into the basement. Luckily, it wasn't right here. It was over there.
Right.
But that was pretty bad. And so county commissioners come out here because now they have to do something.
Right.
That's raw sewage. And so They come, they find out, hey, this building, it's deteriorating, it's in deplorable conditions. Now there's the raw sewage. They're like, we've got to do something. So they consider it a total loss as well. And they're talking about taking it down and rebuilding it. Well, one of the county commissioners had seen that the old foundation was still standing here from the 1851 to 1853 when they first started building it. And so he comes and he's looking at it. Well, then he calls one of the other commissioners over. He's like, hey, come look at this. So he points out in the corner. He's like, that's a heat crack. We can fix that. To another one. He's like, that too. We can fix it. He's like, why don't we shore up this foundation right here, and we can, expand or make it smaller if need be, but build on the very first foundation that was already built here. And that's what they ended up doing. So at this time, it's 1899.
Okay.
And they have thermometers. So they can actually fire the bricks correctly this time.
Okay.
And they built onto the foundation here and actually expanded back further. Which when we go for the actual tour, I'll show you where that is. It's pretty neat.
Okay.
Because you can actually see where there was an old door and a window that they bricked up or whatever. Well, they used more limestone, but it's still really cool to see.
Kind of a lot of death that happened. If I read right, 400 to 500 people have died here?
Yeah, so there, from the time that it opened, the 1899 building here, until it closed in 2007 or 8, there was 1,498 people that called this place home or stayed here. And 501 deaths. But if you think
old people,
nursing home, so a lot of
natural causes.
Yes. And there's the unmarked cemetery, pauper cemetery. That was 52 bodies that they had buried there, unmarked. That would have been people that came here that ended up being unclaimed, or like they had no family. They just ended up being buried here for free. Because if you lived here and you died here, then you could be buried. Yeah.
Kind of like the Indiana State Sanitarium. They have a pauper cemetery, but there's no stones. It's just unmarked graves.
Yeah. Well, now there's a second graveyard that has been discovered.
Oh gosh.
The second what?
Second graveyard. Which is actually not the one that's over there.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a private, family-owned graveyard there.
Oh, okay.
That is marked there. And I've wanted to go there so bad, but it's private property, so we can't go. But no, on the way to the chicken coop back there, there's a bunch of lumpy ground, which is where I was asking, because I just recently learned this myself, that 200 bodies, mass burial. Like 200 and something. I'm not entirely sure how many, but it's over 200 now that they have buried here. Doesn't mean that they actually lived here. That'll make a little bit more sense later on when we get down.
Okay.
But it's a mass burial.
I understand, I get the fact that a lot of deaths were due to natural causes, but is it possible, especially when the poor people would come in here, that it would attract, I don't know. You would think that there would be people who are down on their luck, poor as heck, and they're drunks. And so the crime rate.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of crime rate because of that?
Like homeless people living in Fort Wayne and
the undesirables.
Yeah, the undesirables.
Somehow they manage to get a room, and yet one of them gets pushed up or pissed off and kills somebody.
Well, that did happen here. We'll get to that when we go through the tour too. So yeah.
Is that somebody throwing somebody out the window?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much so. Just sit back and just wait, because usually something will happen. Now there's a couple groups that have came here and 2 days worth. Didn't get really much of anything. Like a little bit here and there, but not any concrete, like, oh my gosh.
And that's what we're hoping for. Like every place that we've gone, we have not gotten a door slamming, something moving. We've
No,
never
I've had the door slam here.
We've never got
We had that one little.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, at the Stark Saloon.
About other than that, that's. Oh, that really happened.
Yeah, but we don't even know what that was.
You see,
More
I get
interesting stuff than
so, this is what I'm the skeptic.
Okay.
And I want to believe. I'm not saying what you're saying or what you're about to say. I'm not saying that you're full of it.
Right. No,
Yeah.
good. That's
We've gotten EVPs,
Yeah,
but I want to see
something.
something flying.
A shadow
If I
figure
get
or
scratched,
something, yeah.
there was one time in my life where I thought that I had somebody push me in my back, but there's no, we were in
Dachau.
Dachau in Germany at the ovens, the
crematorium.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
And walking out the door, it felt like somebody shoved me out, and I about fell.
yeah.
But what infuriates me, because I do homework on all the places that we go to
Right.
because of boredom, or I'm just curious. I'm more fascinated with the historical aspects of it, but I can pull on YouTube and watch all the videos of all the people that have come through every place that we've been to, including this one, and they're all freaked out.
And
they
they all
all
get
claim
something.
they get this and they get that. And the thing that gets me is, we've been to the sanitarium quite a few
Many
times.
times.
I've been there.
He's been there a lot. But the one thing that aggravates me when you watch like the Destination Fear people and anybody else, I don't even know who they are, but they sit there. Have you ever been to the sanitarium?
I've never been anywhere but the locations
Oh, okay.
here, so
So in the sanitarium, there's a nursing home that was built there, and the most haunted place was right in the middle at the nursing station.
okay,
That's
yeah,
what
I've seen
they
videos
claim.
of yeah.
And so you'll see, they'll set up and they'll sit there for hours on end, they'll have the cameras on, and they hear noises. Automatically, it's a haunting. But when you go, the one thing they don't show you is that when you actually go there, the whole ceiling is gone,
Caved in.
caved in. So there's bats flying.
I've
fixed
heard
it now.
It's
a
fixed
lot.
now.
But I mean, we
Under-
went there during Christmas break, and we're like, "What is that noise?" It was two raccoons fighting,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
and
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Nope," and I just kind of shut the door. And but
Logan.
so we like when we hear noises like scratching, oh, it's a mouse or it's a rat, squirrel. We don't we can't say that.
I
That's
like
what
to
it
debunk
is.
things too. I'm the same. Like
It,
me,
it feels like we're debunkers more than ghost hunters.
Yes.
a lot of the time.
We have been to the most haunted places in the state.
We even went to one out of state.
And
Oh yeah.
we don't get anything like these people claim they get.
Well-
And I know
That's why we're really hoping
Yeah.
something
a
happens.
majority of them are full of shit and they're doing stuff, they're
Just to get views.
yeah,
Mhm.
like them twin idiots and Zach Bagans. But I give Zach credit, his museum's pretty badass, but
I'd like to say that we try and keep it pretty real.
yeah.
Yes.
No, I
think-
like that too because
right.
I want to say we're probably one of the most realist people.
I
Just the
try
most unknown.
everything in my power I'm a provoker.
well,
But
I mean, you
won't
can
break-
ask, and I mean, just being respectful. Now, you can say, hey, you're welcome to touch your scratch. I don't believe that. You can do those things. Don't be disrespectful about it. Those the only thing, like at least with a judge, which, like I said, there are some people that do come here and they do it. I'm not going to be here. I can't stop, but I do advise not just because that's what they ask us, not to do. So.
I think I'm more of the lines, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm more of the lines like, if this is real, prove it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's just like, I don't believe this is real.
I mean, I don't
because
sit there and
do something,
purposely
or
disrespect
yeah, he
whoever,
doesn't like
but-
cuss at him. Or,
Yeah, see, that's
Call 'em
more the
out.
provoking that we're talking
yeah.
about. Being where it's more of a disrespectful and you are being hateful or mean,
right. That's yeah.
But asking them to scratch you or to push or pull, like I've been brushed up against. I've had like my hair messed with. When I was training and giving tours, there's a lot of times girls would have they'd feel that or they were pinched and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And Walter was following one of them around. He liked this one blonde, so you might be in for it. He likes his
What's
blondes.
her name, Ida?
Ida.
What'd she do that was so bad? I mean, that's so,
Yeah, so,
I think she hung herself. but-
yes.
She had syphilis.
Yeah, neurosyphilis.
Yeah, conducted it or got it from her husband.
Yes, Francis Gunkel. He had passed away in 1928, and Ida passed away in 1938, so 10 years later. She came to live here in 1936, so she wasn't even here, but not even 2
Couple
years.
years, right.
Yeah, so, and she was originally in a regular room, but then she kept getting out, and it wasn't safe for her, you know, and she's acting out, screaming, like pulling her hair, running, just roaming 350 acres worth of, you know, land and stuff in the middle of the night. And it was a lot for them because, like I said, they didn't have the staff for her.
Right.
And one day she was in her right mind, was pretty clear, and talked to the caretaker's wife. So Mr. Thornburg's wife, Mrs. Thornburg. When they ended up locking her up in the basement, like I said, it was for her safety. And Mrs. Thornburg would go and lock the door every night, and then in the morning, about 5:30 in the morning, would go and unlock it. Let her roam the building because, you know, she's not in prison. Nobody was actual inmate, you know, like they're not real inmates, even
Right.
though they were called that. And later they changed the name to residents. But with her, it was a special case where they probably shouldn't have taken her to begin with. She should have been with
In
a
the
trained
hospital.
medical staff where she could have been looked at correctly and given medication if need be or whatever. But there wasn't really a cure for syphilis back then. I think they said mercury and I forget the other one now.
That's how Capone died. Syphilis.
Really?
But so one night she asked Miss Thornburg for a broom. And she's coherent, she's talking, you know, and Miss Thornburg was like, wow, you know, like Ida's doing great. She's with us today. She's gonna
cleaning.
clean, yeah.
Yeah.
So she gave her the broom and locked the door and, you know, went to bed. Comes around 5:30 in the morning to let her out, and she's excited to see what she's done with the room. And opens the door and finds that Ida had hung herself.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. How do you hang
Yeah.
yourself with a broom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a question a lot of people have. So in the basement, there are 2 drainage pipes that are on the ceiling. And so she took the broom and put it on top of the drainage pipe, tore off the ticking around her mattress, and had wrapped it around and walked off of her bed. The only thing is, for one, the bed wasn't high enough up to where like the fall wasn't going to break her neck, so she's not going to die instantly. And also that material was stretchy. Her feet were on the ground. She actually had been leaning into it. She strangled herself to death.
Oh my.
It was
gosh.
not a pretty death. It was very,
And your natural instinct is to
Fine.
fight it,
yeah.
and your body
And
fights
she was
it.
that
so-
determined
She
to quit
wanted it.
suffering.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That poor woman.
It's giving me goosebumps. I feel so
I
bad.
know. I'm like that poor. I got it down my
And
legs.
I have her death certificate and her husband's that show, you know, that he had, it was called cerebral spinal syphilis, was a secondary cause for Francis Orange Gunkel.
Okay.
I even found their grave, like where they were buried, but I couldn't find his grave. It's a
Oh.
ground grave, and I think it grew over it.
Oh yeah.
But I'll still go back and look again. And then whenever she had passed, it had her cause as strangulation.
Oh wow.
And it was like a self-inflicted.
Oh,
So
that's just so
yeah.
sad.
This room here, this is the scrying room with the mirrors. If you go into the right, I'm gonna go turn on the stand that's down there, it's an exhaust stand. It's pretty noisy.
Oh, right here.
Look like you can music stuff in here.
Oh yeah, this is
Personal.
definitely
It looks like an intervention for one.
a mirror room.
Did you see it?
Did you see it?
Oh my god.
Number
I
9.
gotta think of little jokes that I can make. I look, I those
So-
guys get in order.
Sometimes we have professional scryers that will come here and use this room But we do ask, if you don't know what you're doing, please don't
Don't
try, because you could definitely let a demon in here, so.
What would you be doing?
So staring into the mirror, and a lot of times, like once you are looking into it for a certain period of time, things will start warping, or like your face could, so you can start seeing things. I'm not entirely sure how all that goes. I've never done it myself. Like I've looked into mirrors, but not like trying anything like that.
First time.
I've actually sat down here for an hour in the dark by myself one day, and just to see what I could hear, whatever. Nothing. Yeah. But then I was also scaring people, because that's one of my favorite things to do. So. We walked away. And we have Ida's room here.
It got very quiet.
It sure did.
There's just a big spider behind Jason.
And see this room here? The only room in the building that has bars. And it was from the original foundation that was started in 1851, and they don't know why it was here. Now, I think that maybe they had this as a jail cell originally, because down here in the basement there used to be a jail cell.
Okay.
Not in this room here, but there was one down here. So that'll tie in later when we get to that area. Like I said, she mostly, what I've seen is like with the EMF detector, she will go and like spike it up on command when you're talking to her. And actually, a family member of mine, my sister's boyfriend, actually was here not too long ago, and she had taken a liking to him and said, "I love you," 2 different times.
Oh, wow.
Started following around, and then some of the words kind of that I was getting on, which I have an app, so you never
Right,
know how
you never
consistent
know.
they are.
Yeah.
But the words were all consistent with what happened right here.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not going to say those words right now, but you can imagine what.
Yeah.
As we're going throughout the building.
Oh, wow.
And then he ended up getting touched later on. So yeah. But she was responding to him with my EMF detector, and he's never done anything like that before either, so he was a newbie.
This is a storage room?
This is the workshop, and this one is usually pretty active, so that's a good place where that X is right there for static cam.
Looks like Jason will be here tonight.
This is
Oh my God.
Walter Ryan Armstrong.
Look at this beauty.
You don't even know what that is, Jay.
An oscilloscope.
You're actively reading it all.
Oscilloscope. Hey, it looks cool when it's
It's a small
Oh,
workshop.
hey, more money.
Yes.
Understood.
What's with this box?
So that is a laundry chute, but this is not a laundry room at all, and never has been.
You think they dropped like tech down there, expecting it to come down perfectly, and like,
No.
Nope.
No.
So,
it'd be fun.
first fun fact about the building, it is in the shape of a cross.
Yep. Second building we've been in since with that.
Well, their thoughts are that they were doing God's work, helping the people that can't help themselves, giving them a place to live and call home. And so we have the long stretch of the cross, and then we have the arms, and the top would be where the head of the cross would be. But anyways, with that laundry chute, so these rooms where they have the angle to them are going to be, except for this room is obviously a workshop,
Right.
but they would use them for medical storage or sick rooms on the next 2 floors.
Okay.
And so they would have the laundry come down here, and depending on if it needed laundered, which the laundry room is off to the right-hand side on the women's side down here, so they could wash them without having to go around a whole bunch of people and infecting them. Or also if they needed to incinerate it, like if it was something that needed burned, because maybe whatever they had, they didn't want to spread, so they got rid of those sheets altogether, whatever.
Right.
So that's why it was here. But Walter, he used to work at the mold factory here. I think it was Omco.
Okay.
And he had like OCD, maybe a little bit of what would be like on the spectrum.
On the spectrum?
Yes.
Okay.
And so on top of that, when he'd get off from work, he would go and drink. So a little bit of alcoholism, you know, probably trying to cope with the fact that, hey, I don't fit in or whatever. And he's trying to fit in, which probably made it worse, honestly.
Right.
So when he came here, they asked him what he could do. And I'm not exactly sure what he said, but he did want to still work and everything. Most people did want to, you know.
Contribute.
Yes. And so they let him come down to the workshop. And I like to call it busy work. But he secured this bench here. I don't think that's going anywhere for a long time.
Oh, no.
And hand screwed those in, like drove those in.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Yeah, the square nails.
Square nails. Those are so cool. I
Um,
found a couple of those in
and
our
chiseled
yard.
through right here. So, I mean, like I said, they did things, he would keep himself busy and make sure that, you know, he still felt like he's contributing because,
At all.
yeah, so he stabilized this workbench so that it's not going to move. And then also the trim and stuff right through here.
Oh, yeah.
He hammered these in, and there's some of the screws too.
It's pretty
And
good.
he is the one that is also known to be on the SLS camera. So he could be standing here, over there, or in that corner, and you could sometimes see him waving his hand like he's hitting, like using a hammer.
Ah, okay.
So-
That makes sense.
But he's also the butt pincher, so be careful.
Okay, well.
Fine by me.
Yeah, I know. That's where it's at. Do you remember this?
I normally
From the
scare
video?
people, but he already knew about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew. I was
Watch the
like,
video,
You got me.
is somebody gonna get it before me?
Where was it?
This has been.
I'm surprised it still works.
So,
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's old wiring.
yes.
That is definitely gonna be an audio in the. It's what?
Dinner time.
Dinner time.
Yes, dinner time. So they would ring that bell for waking up in the morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then lights out. And when this transitioned into a nursing home, they actually did away with the buzzer.
Oh.
And the residents, because a lot of them were people that had already lived here, they liked the way it was and they threw a fit until they brought it back.
Oh, wow.
So now it still works to this day. Now I don't know if they actually unhooked it or anything, but they stopped using it. They're like,
Right.
"Oh, you guys are adults, you guys can
You
figure it
can
out."
figure it out, yeah. It's what this time you come down.
So that little eight-legged creature crawler thingy has been known to hang out in that corner over there.
Okay.
And our historian actually has a picture of it. I would have never believed it until I saw it, but he has an actual picture on his phone. And I'm
Does
like,
he share that?
when he gives the tours, yes.
Oh, that's not
I
fair.
know. I
He
need to
needs
get
to
it from
share
him.
with all of the people who give the
Yes.
tours.
What?
That's Doris.
Yes, the picture of Doris here. See that, like the looks of this, and it's not this one right here. Because I was like, well, maybe they just removed the thing. This is not the same because the wood grain there is.
Oh,
sideways.
yeah, yep.
I found this and another place in the building.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I pointed it out to the owners. And they had no idea.
Wait, you found this?
Yeah,
This
what she's
countertop
standing
thingy.
behind,
Where's that?
it's in another place in the building.
We'll
And I'm
find
guessing
it.
we're gonna find it.
Is that
Is this a wooden walk-in?
Yeah, it's a walk-in.
Holy crap!
It's just the ice box, and then they converted it into a cooler or a freezer later on.
It will not shut.
that's getting locked in there?
They have that button
There's a-
right there.
Shut me in.
Make sure that you can't get locked in.
Don't take a picture with me in it.
Cooler freezer, they had that little button. You can't.
You can't. It's probably so old.
We've had people that literally have it. Well, my tour guide, my very first time coming here, I got locked in everything. And that, I got scared of the buzzer, obviously.
Right.
But there's another one of these walk-ins, in the butcher shop area.
Okay.
Keep bringing up all these scary.
It is windy outside, so.
Okay, so those will get,
Yep.
they do bump
So
up and
keep-
stuff
I was
sometimes.
gonna say,
And people apologize. I saw one that notes here. People apologize for opening things.
for opening things.
Yeah, like I'm sorry about the people that opened everything, but I love you to stay safe. Hello, Miss Doris. I am sorry for the interruption, and I hope you forgive us. Love you.
Oh, I'm sorry for my brother and Riley. They were very disrespectful. I love you, Violet.
So you're not allowed to open the
Oh, I don't know. I'm very nosy, so.
Okay, look at
I'm gonna
that.
have to ask her later.
More notes.
She cooked. She used powder in her cooking.
She must have had a lot.
That was my grandma's recipe.
She must have.
She would have been probably yours.
She must have had a lot of spare time.
You're so funny. And if it was the spice time, that would be even funnier. Oh, come on.
You're not telling the notes saying, gosh, shit, but I should have read it. But I'm a little bit soon.
All right, so
I am
Doris's kitchen.
Doris's kitchen.
Horse's kitchen.
So Doris came here when she was 11 years old.
I'll start.
She is the oldest of 6, and her mother had passed away, and her father ended up being admitted here. For some reason, it wasn't really listed. Somebody said alcoholism, but can't say for sure. That's more hearsay.
Right.
And Doris, before she came here, also had been kicked in the head by either a mule or a horse when she was like a toddler. And so she had like a speech impediment, like a stutter. Nothing wrong with her, like mentally or anything like that, but you know, back then, anything wrong, and it's like, oh,
And
we're
you're,
just in, that's
yeah,
what this
you're
place
going to
is.
be in
You're
a circus. Yeah.
2.5 miles away from town because they want to keep you away
Isolated
from the rest of
from the regular.
From the healthy.
Yes.
Yes.
So I recently had found out that Doris recalled when she ended up coming here that some lady had actually came to her house and told her and her siblings that that she was going to take them to town, I think for ice cream or something of that sort. And she's like, that lady lied. She's like, that lady's a mean one. She didn't like her. It was a social worker. Mom had passed away, dad was unable to care for the children and ended up out here. So she actually, the lady was bringing Doris out here to drop her off, told her she's too old to be adopted.
How old was she? 11?
11.
Oh.
So nobody would want her. And like I said, if she did the stutter and stuff, maybe that could have been a factor, but I can't say for sure. I'm just, by what I've seen in the newspaper article, you know, like, they basically said that she was too old to be adopted out, no one would want her. Well, then she's recalling how she was fighting the people from taking because one of the siblings was a baby.
Oh.
And I guess during the interview, she was swinging her arms, talking about how she was fighting the people trying to take her baby sibling, I can't remember if it was a boy or girl, but away, and like she fought really hard to try to keep, you know, them together and was very traumatized over that.
That's awful.
Well, I don't know how long after she came here, but Doris went blind
Oh,
for a
wow.
period of time. Now, whether that was between the trauma, the fact that she'd been kicked in the head, you know, when she was younger, whatever, but she ended up being blind, and she actually went to Fort Wayne and Indianapolis into like a blind home for a couple years at a time, like, but somehow ended up getting her vision back.
Oh.
Yeah, and she said it was by the grace of God, like, and because I
Oh, yeah,
have like
yeah.
an Indy Star like newspaper article of it, a screenshot.
Right.
Gotta print them out.
Yeah.
She came back here just in time to witness her father pass away from a heart attack.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So she's had a lot of trauma and just, you know, been dealt some really bad hands at life. But she's always remained very optimistic, positive, been very kind soul, very helpful, volunteering all the time. So, you know, even after everything, she still is just a wonderful woman. Like I said, I love her to pieces. And when Doris came here, they had originally asked her, you know, what can you do to, you know, help out? And she was talking about how she's 11 years old, she knew how to cook, and that's what she wanted to do. So they told her to get down into the basement and meet with Mary, the head cook at the time. And that if she learned everything there was to learn from Mary, that when Mary would retire, that she could take over. Well, she learned and became a very good cook. And Mary ended up not making it to retirement. She passed away before she was supposed to retire. So Doris actually had started in earlier than what she,
Anticipated.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she had already picked it up like that and was just really good cook. And so she would volunteer for all these organizations, churches, things like that, and she would never take any money that they would offer her or even a place to stay. Sometimes they would hey, we have an extra room if you want to stay here in town. No, I need to get back. Somebody might not have had dinner. She always wanted to make sure everyone was fed. And so she was always putting other people before herself.
Now, did she ever have any kids?
No.
Married? Nothing?
Nope, and ended up being like a lifelong resident here.
Wow.
Besides the times when she did go to Fort Wayne and Indianapolis for those blind
Right.
homes.
Where are you at? Oh, he said it sounded like a ball falling down the stairs. Are you recording? Well, then let me get off the phone.
And he's the skeptic.
What's happening?
He's like, I swear this door is opening by itself. And I'm like, are you recording? No, I'm on the phone with you. Like, I hung up on him.
It could be the wind. It could
Yeah.
be the wind. It's pretty windy.
But that's okay.
That's got to be a draft. But I'm trying to go out this door, and I had just heard what sounded like a hard ball being rolled down these steps. But this door right here started opening. See, there we go. Now, one would say that drafts, got to be drafts. It's not drafty here where I'm standing. Of course, there's a hallway. Of course, we are at the Randolph County Asylum. Let's see if it's a drafty here. Okay, this door is weird because it slammed shut behind me, and when I took my hand off, it was about this open. Okay, it's shut tight, slammed shut. This will be on the video. It's kind of a heavy door, and it feels like, I don't know, it's kind of angled, or it's weighted to come my way. But as you can see, it's not doing anything, and the sound is a Jacob's ladder over here. And before I turned on the video, it's a car going by. This Jacob's ladder here started going crazy, kind of like what it's doing now, but it held its, that's some weird Okay,
Dad, you over here?
yeah,
Well, I'm saying that if you're hungry, you can go ahead and go grab something to eat.
I don't know where, but this dude, yeah, it does. Okay, but I didn't have it like that. I had this, first of all, the door was shut like this,
Okay. And it goes that way, right?
but it was
And it's coming your way?
when I went on the other side, the door slammed shut. I mean, all the way shut. But when I'm standing right here where you're at, I was going to walk out the door. I heard what sounded like a hard ball, something rolling down these steps. And then I turned around and the door started. Oh, it started opening, but the door
Doesn't open.
it feels like it's weighted to close. See,
Yeah.
but yet it was opening. I went and checked to see if it was drafty.
I don't feel no draft.
No, that's interesting.
That's spooky.
Because if you keep
Well, it's all the difference unless it's inside. It's an inside door because you
That's
don't
true.
feel
There's
any
no
wind in
gravity.
here.
No, I was gonna say, I do feel it, like, when I stand here, I don't feel it now, but I kept feeling cold air down here really bad when I was standing here talking about doors, so.
Okay, I did too, and
But I'm not
I keep
feeling
feeling
that.
that I keep going like, I don't know if I keep going like this because I feel like there's cobweb, but there are no cobwebs.
Yeah.
I'm always
That's
actively
the one.
sweating. So.
See,
I
now
just
feeling
wanna
it
get
again, I don't know,
finished.
it might be under there.
They've been trying
You
to
hear
shut
that,
the power
Walter?
in my app.
I'm free game,
Your name's
Walter.
Megan, right?
Yep.
Megan would love if you would pinch her butt. You have fair game here. She is
Hey, Jay.
inviting you to do so.
Anytime, this whole night. Or else he'll get angry.
So anyways, Doris, with her, they were asking what she would like because she would never accept money or anything like that. And so she responded with, I like dolls. Which is where the porcelain dolls are coming from.
And there's dolls in here too.
Yes, people have started bringing them down here. They're going to end up overflowing everywhere. The doll room is insane.
We should have brought our doll.
Our 2 haunted dolls?
Yeah.
I mean,
That we got on
well.
eBay. I mean, they would have a nice place to stay, but I spent money on them and I like having them in my office.
So she ended up getting 25 dolls while she lived here, and they would go to any room that she lived in during her stay here, even in her sick room before she passed away. Now they were originally all on this one shelf, but sometimes people add extra on there, like when they come and bring her a doll. So some of them are a little mixed up, and I'll show you how I know that for a fact, because I had to pull one off of there, and I know it didn't come from the original ones. You'll know it too.
Okay.
But yeah, so Doris, usually I get more from her here. Did you just take a picture? Oh no, did that make a noise?
No, this camera just
Okay,
took
I
a
was gonna
picture.
say, I thought I heard the camera take a picture.
But it just
It took a picture of my boob.
It's Walter!
like, did you take that picture?
No, I'm standing holding
I had
it
to
like
have caught
this.
in that on recording.
She literally was not even.
I had to have caught in that.
I hope so. 'Cause I heard that noise too, but it was like when you were doing that, that's why I was asking.
Hold
but
on, can I
no.
go back? Did it didn't turn off, did it? No, it didn't turn off. Okay, so
What she would like because she would never accept money or anything like that. In what she would like because she would never accept money or anything like that. Because she would never accept money or because
yes, it didn't even show what.
like I said that day that I took my camera and I had it recording and then it deleted
I
it.
took that after to see if it still worked.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I took before it. There's no picture. The click.
But if it got turned off in between it too, so.
Well, this is the turn off button. When it shuts off, it only turns off the screen.
But it clicked. You heard it go.
Yeah, like it took a picture.
But it
Okay, so the
didn't.
screen can turn off without the power actually being off of the whole camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
screen will. It's like it's a screensaver thing.
Yeah. So, but I
Yeah,
mean,
I
literally
know, you
just
were
holding
holding
it
it
like
like
this,
that.
and it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have turned off on me. Because then I would have to go like this.
And you definitely didn't do
And
that.
I didn't do that. Oh, that's awesome.
So,
I ain't not gonna risk it.
this is Uncle Bob. Over here is Bob's sickle, which is usually in the freezer. I don't know how he migrated out, but he's beside the freezer now.
What's the story of the so-called Uncle Bob?
Oh yeah, there's a story. And then we have Boner. Boner's just a Halloween prop.
I bet he likes to pop out every once in a while.
That'd be cool. They need to get him a candle.
Any pictures.
Some of the things that are in there, there's a head and a
Oh.
jar. That's also a Halloween prop.
What?
We never told them what happened.
Oh!
Where?
Oh, with the picture.
So I am holding the camera like this, and she's talking, and all of a sudden, somebody took a picture.
It makes a noise
It makes
like
a click.
the camera is taking a picture.
It's still on, but there's no picture.
All black.
And you can even hear
No,
it.
not
like-
even all black. It's just not there.
Yeah,
If
it's
but
gone.
you hear the click.
Yeah.
It did that, and
I have it on recording.
Yep, and you can hear it where it made the noise and everything, where she looks down it instantly.
and
And then I'm asking if he was grabbing something, if that made that noise,
And
but
we had just said, Walter, I'm free game. Come and pinch me.
yeah, literally.
I will be down here, guys.
So this was the butcher shop, basically.
Okay.
Meat room is what I always refer to it as, because, you know, it's definitely had some meat in here. A lot of chickens have lost their heads on this very block because this is original.
Okay.
And I guess this used to actually be in the kitchen at one point, because somebody had came here years ago and they were asking about this that was in the kitchen. And I'm like, well, I don't know of anything that would have been in the kitchen. And then she came and seen it here. She's like, this is it. I was like, well, this is the butcher block thing for,
The butcher room.
yeah. And so it was pretty cool just because she had remembered it from years ago when she had came, and then
It was-
ended up finding it, and it had also made its way in a different area.
And who knows how it got here.
Which some of the volunteers maybe could have done it too, or things, you know, you never really know.
All right.
Or maybe whoever decided that it was supposed to be in here because this is where they would do
Where
everything,
the
so.
butcher, right.
So spirits, people, who knows how it got down here, but that's pretty cool. So they obviously would have their own livestock, and then they would butcher their meats, wrap them up, put them in the freezer here. And then cholera outbreak.
Yeah.
So anybody know what cholera is?
No.
I know
Explain
it's
it.
disease.
Am I gonna explain it?
Okay, so cholera is like almost like dysentery, where you get like that diarrhea, but it's also coming out, you're puking too. So you can wake up in the morning and you'll just kind of maybe feel a little ill and you'll be dead by evening. It's fast acting,
Wow.
it's messy.
Super severe
You're
dehydration.
Yes.
How does one catch it?
Hog manure in your drinking water.
Well,
So hog manure,
Hog
like
manure.
pigs.
oh,
Yes. And it ended up being like a very big outbreak. Now, I've seen a couple different time frames from Indiana and this area specifically, anywhere from like the 30s to the 1930s, 1950s. And a lot of times they would have mass burials, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So they might not have actually lived here for that second.
But they could have said, let's take them somewhere. Oh, let's shove them over here on this property.
So this is where this plays in. So they had one or two, I think there's only one ambulance crew, but there was like two morticians or undertakers for the whole county back during this outbreak. And a lot of times, because of how fast acting, you know, and spreading it was, they couldn't keep up. Bodies were falling and they couldn't even get them, you know, to the morgue and stuff in time. So they would they had a assigned ambulance crew that would go and get these cadavers that had been suspected of passed from cholera. And they're like, get them to the morgue if you can. But if you can't, well, the county owns this building right here, so you can bring them here. And so they would take the bodies and stack them right here to about almost where the painting, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they had them stacked just along the wall. Well, we have Uncle Bob. He had been picked up earlier in the day, and he's maybe midway down this pile of cholera cadavers. And his family comes, and he's like, Uncle Bob didn't die of cholera. He had a heart attack, and we want a funeral. You can't have a funeral for, you know, anybody that's had cholera that's going to spread, kind of like how COVID did. How they wouldn't let you even be around your dying loved ones. So they should have just been like, okay, sorry, he's already been infected, even if he didn't have it, you know, he's buried in it now, so
Right.
we're not going to risk it. But no, the morticians decided they're going to go ahead and get him out, and they're going to prepare him for a funeral because they want that money. So they get an embalming table out, and they drain out all his body fluids and pump him with embalming fluid. And the floor at that time was not cement, it was a dirt floor. So it was all just on the dirt.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, they get Uncle Bob all ready and prepared, and here comes his family. Well, we decided that, we don't want to risk everybody else getting cholera and dying, so we're not going to have a funeral after all. They're like, well, what are, we just risked our lives to get this prepared for you so you can have a funeral. What are we going to do with him now? So they wrap him up and they put him in the freezer. But think about what also is in that freezer.
All of their food.
Yeah, all the meats that they've been cutting are right in there with it. So Bob's sickle over there is the embalmed version of Uncle Bob, and usually, like I said, he's on the shelf in there, in the freezer. So word starts spreading. Oh, there's a cholera stick in our freezer, literally.
Yeah.
And, words are spreading around and everything, but, not too much at this point. Then we have two elderly ladies. Now, this is the women's side. So they have to walk down to the cafeteria 3 times a day. And also, if they have to do their laundry's past this room too, off to the right. They died of food poisoning on record. But if everybody in the building is eating the same meal 3 times a day, and they're the only 2 that got sick and died, do you think that's really food poisoning?
No.
Who's to say that they didn't walk through here? And I mean, especially with it being a dirt floor, somebody walking through here and then walking out in the hallway, then they go and they bring it into their room, tracking it, and barefoot, or, ooh, I got a spider on my,
Yeah.
and maybe didn't wash that. You never know.
You never know.
And also, these doors are ventilated. They're not keeping anything in here. So pretty sure they had cholera, but it was ruled as food poisoning.
To not scare people.
Yeah.
You pan around the room.
And then here, this weird little paper mache looking thing. I don't like that thing, but it always reminds me to stop in here because this is John Doty's room. Now, John Doty, but he would look after the chickens, and somebody said he brought in little chicken coop type things here. But in one of the newspaper articles, it actually talked about how John was waiting for spring. He was excited for spring because he's going to get new chickens.
Mhm.
Because at one point the chickens had stopped laying eggs, and he was so depressed or distraught about it. Like, I don't think he was eating, like he was just very upset and didn't understand why they were not producing eggs anymore. And so he was really excited about getting the new chickens in the spring, and there was an actual newspaper clipping with that, a picture of him saying how he's excited. So I thought that was pretty cool.
What if the same thing happens
I
over
think
here?
more of the fact that it was,
Oh.
yeah, we're in Georgia.
Oh.
I think what was over on the other side was more of the serious ones that they didn't want others to catch, which is why they have that ventilation. Because see, this ventilation hole is open.
So it's like the less serious things.
Yes.
Like a common sickness or something.
Yes. Like Doris had malnutrition, dehydration, I think, and something else, pneumonia or something, whenever she was dying. It had a few different things listed on her death certificate.
These
So-
these the originals?
No. The
Okay.
originals were on this shelf.
I cannot tell you which
What?
one I think it is.
Well, so many are getting added and stuff because I don't know why that one was like that, but the other day I pulled this one off. And then as you can see, this one's definitely not,
Part of it
yeah,
doesn't fit the aesthetic.
no. So somewhere on this shelf, either the bottom or top, 25 of the dolls are hers. Now, I can't say that some of them haven't been moved to them now because, like I said, there's been a lot of that lately. But they are still in the room. And then we have this creepy thing.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, if I'm forced to be in this room and that goes off, I'm pissing myself.
It's funny though because you know with like the old nursery rhymes how they normally have that dark history to them.
Yeah.
I think that one had to do with like the Black Plague.
I think so,
And the
yeah,
death,
if I remember
so-
correctly, yeah.
So it's just really interesting that, you know, it's not only a haunted, creepy, or not a haunted doll, but a creepy doll in a haunted location.
Singing
but
that
then-
song.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty crazy that.
The GoPro handle died. My external battery for it. I hate stairs.
I was giving the tour to nobody.
No, well, the handle died now. The handle's dead.
Really?
My
Yeah.
turn.
I had 2 bars left. I checked that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, they're really low on that energy.
Yeah, they're coming after us.
Yeah. So, this is the nursery, also known as Lulu's room. Lulu came here when she was 13 years old. And she came with her stepfather. Don't know what happened to her mom. I'm gonna assume she's no longer alive. But they like to keep families together. So, Lulu, and her name is Lulu Wood. And then her stepfather was, I always want to say John and I never double check it, but it's something Schultz. Well, Lulu ended up getting pregnant at 17 while she's living here
Oh no.
in the same room with her stepfather.
I heard about that.
Story.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't he
Well,
get...
now, some of the other stuff that I've been told I cannot find the documentations for like on a newspaper, but who's to say she wasn't past 17 and so it wasn't a news story at that time, because I was told that she had 3 kids altogether. But the one I have in the newspaper article I found only talks about 1, and she was 17 and her stepfather was went to jail for suspected incest because he was the father of the baby. Yeah.
I heard, was that, I heard that was the reason why the buildings are divided. Is that the reason?
Yes, well, because all throughout her stay here, she was like 50 something, I think, before she passed, and was supposedly a heart attack. But they said that they think that she might have been being raped when she had passed away and had a heart attack. So she was definitely a victim to men, whether or not she just attracted them or what, but her whole life just something about her, they were drawn to her. And yeah, that one's not the right one because it would have been orange handled.
Okay.
But I think it might be up in the attic last I saw.
Oh, that's a perfect place for that.
I know. So she's 17. She's already a ward of the county because she lives out here with her stepfather, who's now in jail. She has the baby, and because she can't even take care of herself, she's not fit to be a mother like to her child either. So the baby ends up being taken to the orphanage. There used to be an orphanage here by the Winchester Speedway.
Okay.
It's torn down now, and even the remains, you can't even go look. I tried. It's private property, and they will. Read about it and wanted to adopt this baby. Now, when she was born, her name was Anise Lucille Wood.
Lucille?
Yes. And when Mr. and Mrs. Howell ended up adopting the baby, they christened her with a new name. It was Georgia. Okay, no, wait.
Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, wait. Okay, no, wait. Okay, no, wait. Hello? Can you do that again, please? plain as day.
Yeah.
It was like a pocket.
I don't think.
I hope it picked it up.
I don't think mom and dad are here still, so
No, probably not.
I gotta do my cameraman instinct real quick. Looks like the quality is getting fucking worse.
It's getting blurry.
Yeah, it looks like the quality on the camera is getting worse when I look over here.
I would definitely look at that footage later, like really close, and see if there might be something in it.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, like before, the quality of the camera was just fine, but like
Yeah.
after that, it looked like it just got worse. Holy.
So her middle name originally was Lucinda. I'm sorry about that. It was Anise Lucinda Wood. And then when they christened her with the new name, it was Georgia Lucille Howell. So they had changed her name, but it was close at least with the middle name. And when they had the adoption finalized and everything in the court documents, they agreed to bring her Lulu's daughter back here twice a month, so every other weekend, so that she would still get to know her mom. So it takes a pretty amazing family and people to do something like that and still let her be a part of her children's life.
The jail cell?
Yeah. So this sick room, they pulled the toilet out from there, and the tank is actually still attached to the wall over there. And then they brought it over here so that they could
Slim Jim.
lock people up in this jail. So when the judge moved out here, he almost immediately talked them into letting him have this jail cell. They brought it here piece by piece and reassembled it, and you can tell a lot of these are not even put back together, only the outside edges. And then most of them don't even match up, or there's complete gaps over on that corner where they're not even completely together. And one up above there too, it's real big. Big gap. So, the judge would have mock trials up in the attic. Yeah, this is one of the places I got locked in whenever my first tour.
Is that why there's now a lock here?
Oh, is there a lock there or not? Because there usually is. But
Don't shut it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get it locked in here, dude.
Yeah.
That's an old one.
But they have to have the key to that somewhere and be a lockpick or something, because that's been moved and removed a couple different times when I've been here. So.
Slim Jim.
Yeah. Well, so, mock trials for little petty crimes, because he's not an actual judge. So these weren't actual court cases. It was, oh, he stole $5 from my nightstand. I didn't really see him do it, but I saw him walking from my hallway or right around my room the other day, and I just know it was him because it was gone after that. Well, they had jury. Who do you think is going to stand and be the jury?
The judge?
No.
Everyone else.
The inmates.
Everyone that lived here. Yeah. So very biased. So whether or not you did do something petty, and if you were innocent or guilty, a lot of times you were probably locked up in here and you didn't even do anything.
I hope you're in good graces with everyone.
And then, fun fact, this also was used as a county drunk tank back when the jail was being remodeled, because this is, once again, county property. And so they're like, well, we have a jail cell just sitting up in, the asylum, so we're gonna come and use this as the holding cell for drunks.
Oh, yeah.
And they get some very colorful EVPs in here.
Colorful?
Colorful.
Bad.
Cuss words, funny things, outright just crazy responses.
I need to be.
So John Oliver was 70s or 80s, he's older, and he's the type that is going to tell you like it is, how he feels about you, whatever. He's not afraid to tell you.
Sounds like my father.
Well, he was here during the time when these undesirables that, couldn't get drafted for the war, alcoholics, thugs, the troublemakers. And so he's always having quarrels with them. Because, like I said, he's going to tell you what he thinks, and he's not going to be quiet about it at all. So they had community cleanup days or whatever, like in the fall and the spring, everyone was expected to kind of clean up their living space, do the best they could, because especially with him being older, they're like, well, just do the best you can. That'll be good enough. So he cleans up his room and he's going to wipe his windows down. And, he reaches about right here, but he's not going to climb up on a ladder because he's older. So they're like, okay, that's all right. So he cleaned up about right there. And then, you think, lift up the window, kind of reach whatever you can get, and that'll be good enough. Well, that's not how he did it. No. John would sit down on this windowsill with the window open, scoot all the way back, and pull the window down on his lap.
That one.
And this very window here.
Okay.
And he would wipe the outside of the window. He's been doing it for forever. Haven't had any problems, Crazy for doing it. I would have never, but.
Yeah, kind of get me.
Yeah. So, one day during the fall cleanup, two of the known thugs that he's had some problems with had probably gotten in an argument even earlier that day. And they walked by the hall here, and they see him sitting.
The battery's almost dead again.
Again?
Yes! Like, I never even seen it go down from full.
God.
Well, I've had a huge headache, and I'm feeling nauseous. And that's what happened before my friend got scratched, or her boyfriend. So just letting you know, just be aware.
Yeah.
So I'm not at the anxious point where I'm pacing and saying we got to get out of here, because that's when I actually ended up getting demon, Satan, or something of that sort right before he got scratched too, or right after he got scratched.
Are you allowed to do the Ouija board here?
They don't want you to, just because the fact that other people won't come here if they know that people do. Now, during that overnight session, or the weekend that we were here, there was a group of teenagers that brought one and got caught using it, and then they hid it and lied and said they weren't using it, and then I found it during the walkthrough on Sunday. But that also doesn't explain why he got scratched on a Friday night, because those kids were not here Friday night, they only stayed Saturday night. So I can't say that the Ouija board brought something in because they weren't here that first night and he got scratched that very first night. So John Oliver is washing the window. Two of the known thugs walking by, and they stop and they're like whispering to each other like, this is the perfect opportunity, because they seen him sitting here on the outside of this window washing it. That's the second time that's happened when I've been on this windowsill.
A squeak.
Yeah.
I heard a squeak.
No, that sounded like it came from, like it was
Yeah, it did.
a shoe squeaking when you...
I thought it was like a oh, well.
It was
Okay,
this?
so
I didn't move though.
Well, maybe he's sitting next to you.
Debunked. Maybe.
Pretty comfy
Well,
bed.
last time it was more something here, and it was not the same noise, but something made something similar when I was sitting on there, and that's what.
Maybe you can recreate it later at night.
Yeah. But they ended up seeing him backtracking because they're pissed off at him from the argument they had earlier that day or the day before. So they come in here, they open up this window, and they push him out the window. He was murdered. Now that ramp was not there. It would have just been ground, and those trees wouldn't have been as bad, like as grown up as what they are now. And the caretaker was in the barn, heading this way, and saw him fall. So he's rushing over here to see, if he's okay, which unfortunately he was not. He did die. But he looked up here and he sees two men standing here looking down just to make sure that the job was complete, like that he was gone and he wasn't going to squeal. And
They made sure they stood there?
yeah, they stood there. But if you see this old glass here,
Yeah.
when the sun hits it and stuff, it'll warp.
Oh, yeah.
So he couldn't tell who it was. He could see two people standing here, but couldn't
And they
make out
never
who it
got
was.
caught?
Well, that's the thing. So they end up questioning. Nobody knows anything. No one's seen anything. No one's talking at all. And even if they did see or know, they're not going to say anything because then they're going to be next.
Yeah.
So they end up bringing in the sheriff's department detectives, something to question all the known thugs and troublemakers that he had quarrels with. One of them cracked and told out the other guy. So basically they told
Is that
on.
from outside?
Yeah. There's like music, I think.
Yeah.
That's where the judge man is.
Here it is. Here's the room I remember.
I'm not lying, it is humid up here.
Oh yeah. This is actually nice compared to what it normally is.
And it's way open.
Oh, I don't like to look at that.
This is the whole length of the building, basically. It even tees off over there. And here's an Indiana convention.
Corn.
Well, not the corn part, but
Yep.
they have a bed frame, or the box spring, and they would dry out the corn because all where that wood is, it's new, there used to be dormer windows. So it was very light and there was a lot of sun. So it probably got really hot up here. And they would dry out the corn, they'd have it on here and put a sheet underneath here and shake the corn, and when it fell loose, then they would put it in mason jars and either sell it or eat it.
Okay.
Watch out for the trippers, that's where I almost died. Not that one, yes. Every upright here has
Every
that
pillar.
block of wood on it, so that is definitely, you have to be careful. Now there's an X right here, because shadow figures are known to be in that room right there.
Okay.
So if you set up a static camera here, that's a known area. Now, up here was normally food storage, regular storage, and then children would be allowed to come up here and play whenever the weather was too bad to play outside. So a lot of children are known to be up here. And once again, like the balls, balloons, things like that, usually they will set off.
What was that?
What?
I swore I don't, it could just be me, but on the camera I saw like what looked like a little white line, like going to arch, and then it just poof, gone.
We'll have to look back on it later and see if we can get something.
Okay, am I seeing things or is that just the glare? It could be the glare. It's the glare, it's the glare.
So, now, here recently, there has been a little girl with like those glowing eyes, like there was a cat eye, yellow, green colored eyes, and she will peek out through here. She looks over, kind of like that, and is looking out at you. We don't know who she is, and normally she will just kind of
Stare.
walk away. Was that one of you guys that made that
No,
noise?
that
What'd
wasn't.
you hear?
That sounded like three. Yeah, that was 3 clicks.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the camera.
No.